Good evening and welcome to the Private Property Podcast, where we provide you with valuable knowledge and information on all things property related. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or you're just looking for some expert advice, we have got you covered. All you have to do is tune in every Tuesday and every Thursday at 7 p.m. We will give you tips, insights, and expert advice on all burning topics to do with property, because this podcast is brought to you by Private Property. Remember, you can find your new home on privateproperty.co.za. Welcome to another episode of the Private Property Podcast. Joining me in studio is Buhle Maseko, who's a budding property practitioner who's currently transitioning from the entertainment industry into real estate. Before we dive into this conversation, though, please remember to comment below. Share your thoughts about today's show, and you can join the conversation by using the hashtag find your new home on privateproperty.co.za and hashtag the Private Property Podcast on all social media platforms. We'll be keeping an eye out for your posts, and we may even feature some of your comments on next week's show. Because this is the Private Property Podcast, where we provide you with all the things you need to know about property. Like I said, I'm not alone in studio today. I'm joined by the Buhle Maseko. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. I'm good.
I mean, if you're not going to hype yourself up, then
Who
I
must?
will do it.
Who must? No,
I will
appreciate
hype
that.
you up. I am happy to do it.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Listen, I'm glad you're here. I'm
Yeah.
always so happy to speak to people in the entertainment industry, specifically sort of independent contractors who've been, notoriously, we don't really have a medical aid, retirement annuity.
Nothing.
We've got nothing.
Yeah.
And so it's always interesting when, people in this industry now move into sort of these other very important things,
Sure.
like buying property
Sure.
and now becoming a property practitioner. How
Yeah.
did your journey lead you here?
It's been an adventurous one. I mean, like you're saying, we're in the industry where everything's just unstable. You don't know when your next job is gonna come.
It's load shedding. Our industry is load shedding.
Come on. I'm hoping and praying nothing happens now while
Yeah.
we're having this discussion. Let's cross fingers. But yeah, I've been in the entertainment industry for I think 10 years now, and my interests, to want to transition into property actually started, I think, late primary, early high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I started, really thinking about property, and I started.
Did this have anything to do with MTV Cribs?
No, funny enough,
okay,
it
cool.
didn't. It
Just
didn't.
checking.
But I am influenced right now by some of the shows that are on. But we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
So the property bug went and bit you in primary school.
Yeah, I read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, late primary, early high school. And, the ideas that he speaks about there, about making your money work for you. I mean, at that age, you don't really understand what he's speaking about. But
Because
I
your
think
money is for
so
sweets
we
and
might
chocolates
sweets,
and
chocolates,
the movies.
Dates. Come on.
Yeah.
There I am now.
Were you going on lots of dates at the time?
I was quite a catch. I was quite a cutie.
Why do you say that in past tense?
Right now, ain't no one looking at me.
You may or may not still be a catch.
I'm old news now. But yeah, I mean, you start. I had an intuitive mind. What does he mean by making your money work for you? I mean, he's a real estate mogul, and I think that's where that idea really started, igniting in my head, and I started researching some more. But of course, then the industry took over, and it was fun times.
To be gifted.
It was fun times, It was fun times. But now I see myself back, trying to explore the passion. I'm now a candidate property practitioner.
Wow.
With a company called KAGO M, going through my training, and I'm loving it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just decided, okay, property is the way to go. This is how I grow my wealth. This is how I accumulate assets. And instead of now investing, you're investing in yourself.
Yeah. So I'll share a bit of my story. When working in the industry, I think I was about 22, 23. That's when I bought my first property.
What?
And yeah, so...
Are you rich, Buhle?
No, I am not. No. I wish. I'm hoping to get rich. That's why I'm in this industry. But at the age of 22, 23, that's when I bought my first property. But the mistakes that I made and the lack of information that I had really annoyed me, and it's a pinch that I'm feeling to this day, because I mean, as young people, you're excited, you're getting this money, and it's a good position to be in. But then you go and you make mistakes that will stick with you for the next 20, 30 years. So I think it came from a place of annoyance for me to be like, Buhle, you had the money to do this. Yes, your mind was in the right place, but not wanting to find out properly, not getting the proper information.
Research.
But at the time you couldn't tell me I was popping, So I had the money, I qualified, and I thought to myself, let's go in, let's jump in, let's buy property. I knew nothing about things like attorney transfers. I knew nothing about things like levies. All I wanted was to say I have a home and I own a home.
That picture with the keys.
Like I was doing that back then.
When you were 22.
When I was 22. So I think those are some of the things that I would like to, make sure that young people don't make those sort of mistakes. And that's another big decision that led me to following this route.
Speaking of young people and, preventing them from making these kinds of mistakes, providing the resources that they need that maybe you didn't have at the time when you were in this position of being a first-time home buyer. And now, obviously, you're in a position where you can suggest things and lead people and show them which direction to go in. I had this conversation. I remember we had a property show going on at the convention center, I think last year sometime.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with Titimba about the lack of young Black professionals in the property practitioner space.
Yeah.
The fact that he was one of the only people at the time who was a go-to person, who could be a trusted person within the space with the work experience and the recognition and sort of being an industry leader.
Yes.
And why that was the case. It is very hard to come by, Buhle, no, Titi, no, K Munareng, who are in this area of expertise, who you can go to.
Look, I mean, firstly, shout out to them. They're doing amazing. The likes of Titimba, they're the sort of guys that we looked at and we're like, okay, so it is possible. Because the first thing that happens as a young Black man, with lack of information, you don't feel like this space is for you. You understand?
If you can't see someone who looks like you in a space,
exactly,
you can't identify that there's any room for you within that community.
Yes. So the idea that we have is get a good job, and then in your late 20s, early 30s, buy a house. That's going to be your family, and that's where it ends, and you'll be paying off that bond for the next 20, 30 years, and that's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like you said, information for me was really important. I mean, I see the glitz, the glamour. I mean, these shows today sell the property industry as being glamorous, which it is if you work hard.
Selling what?
Selling this million watts. And it's exciting. But then we need to go back to information. You need to go back to really researching and taking yourself seriously, finding out what you need to do to get into that space, speaking to people in that space, and finding out if it's something that you'd really like to get into. Because if you do come from a fortunate background, you can get into investing, and you can get into many ways of making money.
Because you've got the capital to play with from early on in the game.
Exactly. But if you also come from the standpoint of not having a lot of cash flow, there are other opportunities which you can still, explore within property, So I really had to dig deep and see where I want to move, within the industry. So yeah, I've taken the step to be a candidate property practitioner for the reasons of, yes, I want to sell property, but I also want to find out more. I also want to be a big player in the space. So yeah.
Love this for you. And I assume that in all of that, you will be bringing other people who look like you and me up with you.
Most definitely. Yeah, so I mean, in that, I must give a shout out to KAGO M. KAGO M is led by a young, amazing Black woman called Khunzi. She's our principal property practitioner. And she's amazing.
I don't know her, but I love it.
Yeah, she's amazing. She has KAGO M, and we had a discussion. We had a sit down on where I want to go, what's my vision, and she's providing training for her candidates. So we're in a good space. We're led by a young Black lady, and yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Does it help that you have a nice face? Is it
Where?
like pretty privilege? Does
No, it's
pretty
not.
privilege help you
No,
sell
it's not.
houses?
Actually, she told me. She said, "Look," she sat down with me and she's like, "Buhle, I'm not going to do any favors for you. You
Yeah.
know, because you're in the entertainment industry and." Well, what
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah,
What you
yeah.
said.
You're handsome.
Come on. Thank you. But
You're welcome.
no, but she said she was strict. She was like, I'm not going to give you any opportunities if you're not serious. You need to show me you're serious.
Yeah.
You need to show me you're dedicated. And that's only when I will put my name behind your brand. So
people don't like phone you up just because it's you and they're like, hey,
I'm like,
please show me a house.
that listing. No, I haven't got that yet. You know, I'm still at the bottom. Like, why would you call me if I'm maybe when I'm $1 million what?
Okay,
Maybe
fine.
they'll call me.
I mean, don't like.
You call me.
I mean, I will. My wife and I will call you.
Please, I'd love to assist.
But also, don't sell yourself short. You don't know. Like, even about Drake started from the bottom. You can rise very quickly in this game.
Cool.
I want to ask you. So now you've entered the market as a property practitioner.
Yeah.
What training have you undergone? What qualifications have you had to earn other than, Khonsi believing in you and saying, I'm going to back you? Obviously, there are things that one needs to do in order to be a qualified practitioner.
Yeah.
What are those things?
So I've been getting that question a lot, especially on social media. People just don't even know where to start. The best place I would say to start is to try and get an agent. Look around your community, go online, search for an agent that is around you and that is willing to assist. But the agent should also offer training, because the training gives you just the basic, overview of how things work in the industry. You get to learn different aspects of housing, and that gives you an idea of whether or not you want to be or not to be in this industry. And of course, then you go for your training. Then you need to register with the PPRA, which is the Professional Practitioners Regulatory Authority. Sorry. And while you're doing your training, you also need to complete your logbook, which is for 12 months. That's just a record of everything that you've been doing, what training you've covered, what courses you've covered. And then you will go into your NQF level 4, which you need to write and you need to pass. And there's a lot of gray areas around the qualifications that you need and the steps to go into it. But you can be exempt from writing your NQF 4. But I say young people shouldn't go for that option, because what it does is gives you the knowledge within the real estate industry. So you can't just say, oh no, I've got a degree in the arts, which I have, but it's not in real estate. So you want to be part of the big players, you need to know what you're talking about. And then of course, then you also write your PDE 4, and you'll carry on training underneath your principal practitioner for a while until you then write your NQF 5 and PDE 5. That's when you can become principal property practitioner. And then you can do deals on your own. So right now, when you're a candidate, you cannot do any deals on your own. You need to be supervised by your principal practitioner.
Because you're not at 5 yet.
Yes. You're not at 5 yet, so you need to be supervised first until you write your NQF 4 and NQF 5 and get your PDE 5. And then if you want to take it further, then you can do further and have deals on your own.
How easy is it for you, for anyone to now go out and say, oh, you are a principal, please take me under your wing? Are people open to that? These are obviously working professionals in an industry where they also have work to do. Is it a common thing that they would now open their doors to Abo Buhle and Abo Sibs walking in being like, I really want to do this?
Yeah. No, I don't think it is. I think that's why I'm saying you need to find a good agent, because people are still closed off to allowing people into that space, because it's a competitive market. It's a commission-based market, where you earn based on the work that you put in. So, if I know that I want this deal and I bring you on and you show more, this conversation's making me happy. Shouldn't I smile?
Do you love property? You look like you love property.
I'm excited. I want that money, man. I'm excited. Okay, so I won't smile again.
No, carry on.
So why would I allow you into my space? If you show more charisma than me. If I can see that, oh, this one could be a threat, he smiles too much. You understand what I mean? Maybe he can get the deals through that. So I think that's why people are still a bit closed off to allowing other people into the space, but it shouldn't be like that. I mean, there's lots for everyone. So yeah.
There's enough room at the table for everyone.
Definitely.
Listen, the industry is currently under severe pressure. Another interest rate hike is looming over us, reportedly with another one coming in October.
Yeah.
So what would you advise a young person considering entering the market today to do?
What, as a buyer?
Yes.
Okay, so I'd say
I'm entrusting you now. I'm saying I might have the money.
Yeah.
You might be able to help me.
Yeah.
What's your advice?
Look, the unfortunate thing is I don't see the situation getting better. So if you do have the money, I would say buy, but buy within your means. Buy in areas that makes sense for you, even looking at the future, you know. So it would be amazing for you to link yourself up with proper bond originators to try and get the lowest rates for you, you know. So it comes down to, again, finding information on who can negotiate the best deals for you and where and why am I buying that property, you know, because like I said, I don't foresee it getting better. So the sooner you do get into the market, I think the better for you. But also getting into a space where you can pay a bit extra on your bond, you know, if you're able to do that, if you're able to put in extra, you know, 2,000 onto what you're already paying, it makes a difference. So just finding out that information is important.
So I don't know if anyone has an extra 2,000 right now just lying around.
Well, some people, you don't.
Hey, actually, I mustn't speak for everyone.
There's levels to this thing.
I don't know
our struggles,
pockets.
yeah, you know.
It's because we are artists, and then I think everyone's on the same level as us, but we're not.
Even that 500, whatever you can, you know, just put it towards your bond. It'll make a difference.
Speaking about the right areas, what are the 3 areas you would buy in right now? For you.
For me. If I'm thinking investor, I'm definitely going to the township and, you know, buying land in the township to build there. There's a growing trend of people buying land and building with the sectional titles in the township. So I definitely get something in the township. Tembisa is where I'm from, so I definitely do it there. I also want to uplift my township and make it look nice. What other area? Oof, that's a tough one.
Just
Maybe
2 more. It can be in the whole of South Africa.
Kempton Park. I'll tell you why.
The East Rand.
I'll tell you why Kempton Park, because you also get you can build Airbnbs if you want to with your property. You've got a lot of tourists coming through next to the airport. You know, I'm thinking business here.
No,
not
I'm
to
hearing
live.
you, and I'm thinking when I fly to a place, I want to stay by the airport.
not CBD. Like,
yeah,
that place is still dodge.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot happening in terms of construction. You know what I mean? But it's still, I wouldn't want.
Okay, but I'm hearing you. Like an Airbnb alternative to an airport hotel could actually make you a lot of revenue that you don't actually have to think about.
Exactly.
Foot traffic.
Got you.
Location.
That's
I
what's
also
up.
speak property. Third area.
What are we doing? Oh, let me see. I'd probably move somewhere I'd probably buy somewhere in Limpopo. I really love Limpopo.
Okay.
I really love Polokwane. Just everything about it. Warm, the development right? The developments that are currently happening there fascinate me, you know. So people think Limpopo is I don't know what, you know, but I've been there, I've stayed there for a year, and I think I loved what I saw. So definitely something in Limpopo.
I love that province. The people are amazing.
Definitely.
And there's so much space and there's so much sunshine.
Yeah.
Like, everything about Limpopo is warm.
Yes.
Which I love. Yes. So I'm on board for that one, actually. Definitely. Before I let you go.
Cool.
The raging debate continues. And I know you've just said, okay, if you've got your extra 2,000, make sure you can pay in your extra 2,000. But let's be real about where we are financially as a people right now.
Yeah.
Rent or buy?
Buy. Why would you want to pay off someone else's bond?
It's not about paying off someone else's bond. It's about my affordability.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you buy according to what you can afford. You know what I mean?
But if I can afford in Tembisa, but I want to live not in
Yeah.
Tembisa.
Look, this is another advice that I give
No,
to young people.
I like Tembisa. I've been there before.
Yeah.
I like it very much.
Tembisa's amazing.
Yeah, like it's pumping.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
yeah.
No, it's lit.
I'm more of a homebody. I'm more of a quiet person.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm more of a northern suburbs.
So you would look there. But okay, look, let me just give you this point quickly. Young people also are too quick to move out of home. You know, and if too quick to move out of home because of pressure. So if you feel like for that extra year or 2 years, I can still stay at home and save my money, please do that. I beg you, take your time and research, you know, and then you'll see that, actually, wait, so I can enter the market. I can buy now. I've got a good deposit that I can put down on the house that I want. So
I'm gonna co-sign that one so
I'm
hard.
telling you, you know.
I only moved out of home because I moved from Cape Town to Johannesburg and now I couldn't live at home anymore.
Exactly.
But if I was still in Cape Town, I would live in my mother's house. I promise you.
Definitely. Why not? Because,
and
she
cooks, the girl like does my laundry. Like it's just...
Now imagine, now you must pop out more money for laundry.
Can you imagine?
For help,
All I had
house,
to pay in
groceries,
that
levies.
I was living soft
municipal
life.
You see what I mean? So a lot of young people are quick to move out, and maybe that's also why they find themselves in a position later where they don't have enough money to, you know, pay off the bond or extra money to put into the repayments. So also take that advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a long game.
Definitely it is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me.
It's been amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. So are you. I hope you come back.
Can I sell you a house? Are you gonna?
Are
you looking?
And now Malin's broke, but
we'll sort it out.
Okay.
We're
gonna do the bond originators. Needs to tell me about my affordability.
We'll negotiate good things for you.
When are your property hours and what are your property channels?
Okay, so people, let people follow me on social media. They'll see everything. Buhle_Maseko on Instagram, @Boogie_M on Twitter, Buhle Maseko on Facebook. I give out everything there.
Okay, Boogie M.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you soon when you buy me a house. I can't wait.
Let's go.
Then we'll do a podcast in that house about that house and about other houses that we can sell together with our beautiful faces.
You've got a plan.
I've just come up with a really great idea. I know private property is behind me all the way. Speaking of private property, this has been the Private Property Podcast. I'm your host, Sibs Malaba Matiela, and I will see you on the next episode. Good night.